We got some groundbreaking news. We're talking about it right here on the Ango Show. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we got a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, you probably should click subscribe now. Also, I made a video. This is the new AEW Dynamite set. You could hear my opinions and thoughts on that on more Ango. But nonetheless, I want to just jump right into it. The Young Bucks have a major announcement tonight. This is a huge announcement for AEW Dynamite. Obviously, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson are the AEW EVPs. And this is actually kind of cool to me because normally when AEW has a huge announcement, they have it being announced by Tony Khan. And, well, I think this is a nice little spin on that. Obviously, having the Young Bucks make an announcement is good because they are heel characters. Also, their whole gimmick is basically all the criticisms from the IWC are compiled into their character work. So I like that part as well. But then also, too, I think, we've talked a little bit about rumored new tag title belts. Obviously, they're going to do the titles being vacated. We don't know what they're going to do. My assumption is that this announcement will have a lot to do with that. I think new tag title belts would be a good idea. I think when I've heard that rumor a while ago, it would just make a lot of sense. And then obviously with Sting and Darby Allin no longer being in AEW, this is like a new era, right? You have the new stage. You start revealing some new title belts here and there. You got the new logos. A lot of people are going to have opinions on this, but I think if you're going to start off with a clean slate, rebranding and all of these different things, you might as well go for it. We saw TNA go from Impact to TNA, and the only thing that really came back was the name and the logo, right? So you got to go and do more than just branding changes. But also with the Young Bucks, I think this could be really cool. Tonight should be the night where tag team wrestling really starts to stand out again. You want me to restore the feeling? You want me to get that feeling back? Bring tag team wrestling back as a priority on your show. And now with Sting and Darby Allin no longer there as a tag team, I'm okay with them. Just go aggressive as possible with this notion that you're going to push the tag team division. That's how I look at it. Okay. You did a nice thing to Sting and celebrated Sting. Wonderful. I understand. But today it's time to go forward with the tag team division. Too many people not being utilized in the tag division. Time to make some major moves, and obviously I'm hoping this announcement has a little bit to do with that. With that being said, there is some shocking news surrounding Matt Hardy. According to Fightful Select, Matt Hardy's contract is set to expire soon. This was not something I was expecting, but it was reported today by Fightful Select that the contract of Matt Hardy will expire in roughly 2 weeks. No deal has been agreed to, but both sides were said to be in contact about the deal. There is a little bit more time added for Jeff Hardy, obviously, so Jeff Hardy and Matt are a little bit different. I don't know. I feel like this is a really strange situation. Recently on Matt Hardy's podcast, he says, I do think that tongue twister. He says, I do think the Hardys are heading in a new direction. And I think it's really unique for Jeff because I think you're going to see Jeff talk about and go into a territory that he's never really been explored before. And I think that's going to be really interesting, really intriguing, really good, entertaining TV. I don't know, man. I part of me just doesn't feel like AEW needs the Hardy Boys, to be honest with you. I think the Hardy Boys, I feel like the experiment kind of failed, unfortunately. And it sucks because I didn't like their WWE, like the end of their WWE run. And then obviously when Matt Hardy came into AEW, I'm obviously a fan of the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. But obviously a lot of people, it just wrong time, pandemic and everything like that. I don't know what to say. I don't know if Matt Hardy gets a new contract, but this is something I would definitely be paying a lot of attention to. I think people need to understand with Matt Hardy and Jeff, talented as hell, right? Talented as hell. They've been doing this for a very long time. They're not going to be doing it much longer. I also don't know if they have done really anything for AEW's business, truth be told. I really don't know if they, I don't think they've really amplified AEW's, you know, viewership or attendance or anything like that. And quite frankly, I don't think the booking has been that great either. And it's not, to me, it's an issue on both sides. I don't really blame Tony Khan or AEW. I don't really blame the Hardys. I think it's a mix of both. But ultimately, I think the Hardys, man, we've seen them leave WWE, come back to WWE, leave WWE, come back to WWE, go to TNA, go to ROH, go to all these different companies. They've been around for a long time. And, you know, at this point, I think for them, they're just mostly a nostalgia act. I don't know if Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy will re-sign, but Matt Hardy's contract ends very soon. And when his contract is up, we're going to see what happens. I'm just saying I wouldn't necessarily be shocked if they couldn't come to terms on a new agreement. I'm just being honest. I don't know if that would be the case, but you never know. Obviously, we saw Sting just get a great send-off. Perhaps maybe Matt and Jeff Hardy do get something very similar. Should be very interesting to see how that goes. Nonetheless, we're going to keep it moving. AEW Okada, it looks like tonight is the night, at least according to PW Insider. It looks like Okada is planned for tonight's AEW Dynamite. According to PW Insider, they have a lot of things planned. AEW obviously has a lot of things planned, but they've reported that Okada has traveled to Los Angeles last week, and he is still in the United States. The expectation is that Okada is going to kick off this new era with AEW, and then for momentum purposes, AEW will continue next week by bringing in Mercedes Moné. Obviously, AEW big businesses next week. I think you should debut them both on the same show. But I think this is still cool anyways. Obviously, I'm going to be watching Dynamite tonight, and I will be doing a live review, of course. But of course, I cannot lie and just act like Okada is going to be a game changer for AEW. I said it before. He wasn't going to be a game changer for WWE. He isn't going to be a game changer for AEW. And he's also appeared on AEW programming before, so it's not necessarily like groundbreaking. But it is cool to see Okada in AEW. It's going to be really awesome just to see Okada in the United States in general. You know, next time AEW comes to Detroit, I would love to see Okada in person. But of course, yeah, Okada coming to AEW is just going to be fun, right? Forget about the business aspect of things. I think it's just going to be fun. But this is where I've said it before. The pressure is on AEW, right? You bring in Jay White, didn't really do too much with him. Now you're bringing in Okada. You got to do something special with him, but also you just brought in Ospreay, so you got to do something special with him. And then in addition to all of that, you got Mercedes Moné. You got to do something big with her. So there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people will be talking about for the next few months. The pressure is on AEW. I think they will be fine, but we will see what goes down when it goes down. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ango Show.
Oh, yes.